Hi everyone, my name is Nurhaifa binti Mazuki and my metric number is 264765. So today I would like to present my company, which is Sime Darby Berhad. So this is a study in automotive industry in Malaysia related to the factors that influence the liquidity risk of Sime Darby Berhad from 2015 to 2019. So the overview of the company in 2007, through a combination of three companies, the modern Sime Darby Berhad company was formed. Sime Darby Berhad is a Malaysian trade organization and a preferred partner for some of the best brands in the industrial and energy industries around the world. Sime Darby Berhad is continuing to expand through its operations in 18 countries and territories in Asia Pacific, bringing sustainable value to its stakeholders through operational excellence, through high performance standard, and through the good corporate governance. So every year, 80,000 automobiles were sold and represented more than 30 car brands. Sime Darby Berhad present in 9 Asian Pacific markets. This can include liquidity risk problems if the company is unable to repay its short-term debt. The liquidity risk may be accurately influenced by the other risk, for example, is credit risk. So liquidity risk can also be influenced by the corporate governance. For research objective, the first one is particular factors influencing the company's ability to pay debts can be affected. The second one is to analyze macroeconomic factors that can affect the company's debt payment ability. And the third one is to define particular company factors and macroeconomic factors which can affect the company's debt payment capabilities. For the research question, the first one is, will the company ability to pay debt have a connection to such company factors? The second one is, will the company ability to pay debt have some connections to the macroeconomic factors? And the third one is, will the company's capability to pay debt with firm, real and macroeconomic factors have something to do with it? So liquidity risk. The liquidity risk is defined by John Spacey in 2017 as a potential risk for an organization not to be prepared the funds needed to fulfill the short-term or moderate-term commitments. As a rule, when it is required to pay any current bills, funds are shielded from resources that are hard to run into cash. The higher the current ratio, the more likely a company is to pay its debt, since the valuation of its short-term asset is higher than its short-term liabilities. A quick ratio of 1.5 means that $1.5 company has of its current liabilities in liquid asset available to cover of each $1 of their debt. So this is a current ratio and quick ratio formula. So in this study, the first specific factors that use are ROA, ROE, current ratio, quick ratio, average collection period, debt to income, operational margin, operating ratio, and CG index. For macroeconomic factors, GDP, unemployment rate, and inflation rate are used in this study. For methodology, year of observation in this study is 5 recent years, which is from 2015 to 2019. So the method used to analyze this data is used by using the SPSS. The data gained from the annual report of the Sime Darby Berhad from 2015 to 2019. Okay, descriptive analysis. Descriptive statistics are used to describe the fundamental data features in the analysis, according to Prof. William M. K. Trachim. The analysis and the steps taken are defined quickly. They form the basis for practically every quantitative analysis of the data in conjunction with simple graphical analysis. The average is the average of each variable, while default is a variable dispersion for each variable. The descriptive statistic we must take from the model tree, which is include the firm-specific factor and the macroeconomic factors. So this is the correlation. We can say that the inflation is the most significant one because the value of the significant is less compared to other variables, which are debt to income, operation ratio, and unemployment rate. The significant value for the inflation is 0.106. Here that the significant value is 0.179 is the model summary. The adjusted R square value is 0.920. We can see that this value is close to 1. So the closer value to 1, it means that somehow fit in the model. The value for Dublin Watson is 2.615. So this value is between 2 to 4. This means that this model have the negative autocorrelations. So the coefficients, we can see that inflation is the most significant influence by the independent variable, which is current ratio, compared to the other significant value, which is 0.164 for operational ratio, 0.183 for the unemployment rate. So for the conclusion, the most significant variable for internal factors is operational ratio, and for the external factor is inflation. But when we compare to both of the factors, the most significant factors is inflation. For the less significant factors in internal factors is debt income, and for external factors in unemployment rate. So for recommendation, short-term cost and commitment should not be ignored in order to control liquidity risk. This is because these expenditures keep the organization running efficiently. Although corporate governance is not connected to liquidity risk, corporate governance will help preserve the stability of the business. That's all from me. Thank you.